Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. It's time now for Fifth Host, where your comments are actually part of the discussion. In a 12-to-1 vote, D.C. passed an emergency law that will allow students with chronic absences to graduate. 26 students will receive their diploma despite missing 30 days of school. Some say this legislation sends a troubling message to students that attendance is not that important. So is it fair to let students graduate if they've hardly showed up? Take it away, Sam Shocker.
Oof, Tori, thank you so much. All right, let's get right to your comments.
All right, Sam, here's what Shanine had to say.
With attendance, I'm a bit biased. I never missed a day of school from pre-K all the way through high school. So for me, it taught me responsibility and that it's important to show up and push through even if you're feeling sick.
All right, I meant Jessica, but you know, this is kind of obviously you say, well, kids need to show up. If they don't show up, they can't graduate. But in certain areas, certain underserved communities, sometimes it's difficult to get to school. Sometimes you have very serious responsibilities. Sometimes you take care of younger siblings. And a lot of these situations are they're individual situations. So I think they'd have to be looked at like that.
I agree.
Wow. All right, and here's what Shanine had to say.
My college classmate barely showed up to calculus and still graduated with a 4.0. Some kids can do that. Some kids don't always need to be in attendance to pass. And if we're talking high school kids, let these kids graduate. Holding them back will do nothing to help them.
I don't know. When I look at school or look at high school, I think it's twofold. It's the educational piece and it's the discipline piece. But I don't know, is there some type of final or exam that you can, even if you've missed those days, to prove, hey, I've learned the curriculum for the year? I don't know if that's a solution. Or if we say, hey, they can't miss those days, what do? Repeat the whole grade, even though they may be able to pass the test? So I don't know, maybe I'm leaving this with a question, but that's the first thing that comes to mind for me.
Yeah.
Remember summer school when a guy showed up on the first day and he showed up on the last day and aced the test?
Yeah. He had the bathroom key with him.
Yeah. I didn't know you were here.
It popped in my head. All right, Brandy on Facebook writes, depends. Did they have health issues or did they just not go? If they felt lazy and did not want to go, you shouldn't graduate. I agree. Like Al said, if you have family circumstances at home, if you have an illness, but if you just decide not to go because you don't want to go, I mean, you don't get paid for your job if you're not there. So, I mean, it's a life lesson. You got to send those kids to school.
You've got to look at each case separately, because there's a lot of athletes out there too that might be traveling a lot. I know I traveled a lot. I missed a lot of school in my junior and senior year, but I always did the homework, turned it in. Still did well.
And we also have to keep this in mind. I mean, as a former public school teacher, these classes are packed. So if you hold back 100 kids from a class that should have graduated, now they're going to be taking up seats again that are already busting at the seams. So
that's a good point.
It's for the school. Sometimes it's a matter of seats.
Yes, sadly.